jacking up this side so I can push it that way and then roll it off. I just have to get this side up over that peg thing. Okay everyone, the Argo is back and it needs a little bit of love. So the big issue is it has developed a knocking type noise. We're unsure if it's coming from the clutch or the engine, so we're gonna have to diagnose that. It could be the weights in the clutch, or it could be, you know, an engine knock. And at worst case scenario, if it's the engine, my dad and I agreed we'll just put a new engine in here if it needs it. And then it also has developed I think it's a fuel starvation type issue. It runs, but it doesn't idle smoothly like it was. It kind of idles, you can keep it revved up a little bit, but then it just dies out. So and the battery's dead. So luckily this battery, it looks brand new in there still, you can see it, but that was a Ever Start from Walmart. It might have just got too cold this past winter or whatever. It holds a little bit of a charge, but Dad's battery charger said that it was bad. So we'll just bring that into Walmart and get a brand new one because it's still under warranty. And yeah, other than those few things, everything else seems to be doing good. Unfortunately, those issues are kind of bigger ones, but we'll get to it. So my first thing is I'm going to disconnect this front rack so I can get into that engine bay. And a couple years ago when I did these lights, I'm thinking to myself now, I did quick disconnects. So that was the same thing. We took the back rack off to put it on the trailer, and just a quick disconnect. That makes it so easy. I think I got a bolt here and a couple bolts there, and this rack will just come right out. So we're going to get rid of that first, and then we can finally get the hood off of it and see what we have going on in there. Air cleaner looks good. Yeah, it's real nice. This is all clean. One tiny little piece of dirt. That's good. I'm happy it was stored inside for the last year and a half, 2 years, and that really makes a difference when it comes to working on this kind of stuff. We're going to get the look at the fuel filter, which is hiding under here. It's right there. Last time I had this machine, it was so cold I wasn't able to it was so cold that I wasn't able to wash out that gas tank, and I think that might be causing us a little bit of grief this time. The first thing is this smells more like water than gas, which is not good. Second thing is look at this filter. That's a lot of sediment. It's probably, you can see this is it's totally black there. Gross. So this is junk. Oh, okay. This stuff. It is, oh. So we'll scoop this up and out. And alright, we got the top of the tank all cleaned off. There is still the fuel fill spot right here, this probably like 2-inch rubber hose. So we're gonna get that loosened off. And then the tank should pop up and out. I don't know if towards the front or towards the back, I'm not sure, but we'll get it out of here. Okay, so we got the tank kind of moved around here. I'm actually not sure if I can even remove this tank, but the hardest part was removing the spout to fill it, just because that rubber 2-inch hose has been on here forever. But I took a peek kind of inside of the tank, and it looks really clean in there. I mean, like, I think I can see one little speckle of dirt. Sorry here. See that one little speck? Otherwise, it's looking very clean in there, which is surprising. So what I'm going to do is get a wrench and remove this top piece. It's just a threaded piece there. Remove that, pull that out, and see what that looks like, and kind of get a top view of it. Gas-wise, I put 91 in here when I did it last, and I might need to get like a transfer pump or something to pump it out. But I just want to see, I can only see so far from the fill spot, so if I pull that out, I might be able to see a little more and see if it's really dirty or if it looks pretty good. Yeah, so let's get a wrench and take that off. The pickup tube looks great. No cracks. Nice and clear. Hopefully you guys can see that. Yeah. Huh. Okay, so I have put the gas tank back in its spot. It's just sitting there. And what I'd like to do is try to start this thing now that I put the new fuel filter on there. What I plan on doing is siphoning all that gas out. The tank is clean. There might be like water in the gas, but tank-wise it's clean. So I'm going to try to start it and see if now, without the blocked fuel filter, if it'll at least rev up and run a little bit better than what it was. Granted that the fuel is kind of icky, but I want to see if it's pulling fuel, what's really going on. So let's see if we can get this thing started. Let's see, neutral, choke on. Sounds like it's coming from the clutch side. Well, learned a couple things with that. For one, it does not sound like this motor has a knock in it. Maybe at a low RPM, but I don't know. I don't hear it. I think it's on the clutch side, and I think it might be, we'll have to look back into what's going on over there. The fuel pump is pulling fuel, so that's good. That means it's one less thing, right? If the fuel pump was, if this was filled up with fuel and then, you know, dried up or whatever, then filled up again, I'd be worried. That looks pretty good. So I think that was kind of adding to our problem. But it will not idle, which means I'm going to have to go through and clean that carb, because more than likely it got jostled around, getting driven, probably sucked up some of that bad junk in the tank. And luckily, you know, a lot of it probably got caught in that fuel filter, but I will admit that I probably didn't do as good of a job cleaning this carb as I could. It's really hard to get in there, but I have some new tools that'll help me work on that. So that will be our mission then for the future. Okay, so today I went and purchased a fuel transfer pump, and I was out here with Rose. She's my greatest helper, and we pulled out 2.5 gallons worth of fuel. It's, you know, old and rotten or whatever, so there is a little bit left in the tank, and there is some dirt in the tank, but now with less fuel in it, I'm going to try to work on getting it pulled out of there somehow, or try to, even if I can put a stick in there with a paper towel on it or something to try to clean things up a little bit. I think that's what's best. I would really want to wash this tank out. So right now though, I'm just trying to get this tube off again. I had it off yesterday, and I'm going to tilt it sideways and suck the rest of the fuel out of it. And then from there, we're going to figure out why I can't get this tank out. They put it in somehow. I just have to figure out how to get it back out. So let's work on that. Okay, so we have the tank moved. I tried everything to get this tank out. The main issue I have is underneath, which now it might be light enough so you can see. Let me try to show you. You see that big nub right in the middle? So that nub makes it impossible because there's 2 bars. I even tried jacking this thing up. There's just not enough. With it jacked up about, you know, as much as I got it, which is probably 1.5 inches, it still has 1 inch to go. So this bar would just get bent, and I don't want to do more damage, you know, than I really need to. So we got all the fuel out of it because we were able to tip it down, and it actually turned out to be about 4 gallons, which is quite a bit. And then by having it down on this side, some sediment did settle, and I stuck, this is just one of those extendable magnet things with a paper towel on it, and I was in there just kind of scrubbing and got it up. Are good there. It should, we should be able to really clean this up. I've had good luck with those tip cleaners. Oh yeah, look at that. Totally green. You guys see that? Right here? Let's see if I can zoom in. It's green. The holes don't look too badly plugged, but if that's a sign. Got a little gasket here we'll try not to ruin. Ugh, fuel smells disgusting. Get you guys picked up here. Okay, these are the floats, so it's good to see that those are working. You know, they're floating up and down, that's what they do. So yank this out. See how it's like green. Oh yeah, tons of filth in there. That's probably the best. So that should all be shiny steel down there, and there's just loads of what looks like almost some sort of rubber gasket type material or something. I'm sure that there was crud in there that did end up working its way through. See all the crud? See all the junk in the bottom? So that's all up in there. You can guarantee it sucked it up. It's going to be in all these holes, and like this hole here, there's fuel sitting on top of it, and that's like probably should be empty. So the fuel comes in and goes into this thing. And anyways, I'm gonna take this paper towel, ram it in here. That way nothing goes further. And then I'm gonna get my air compressor pumped up, blow that out, and see if that cleans it up. Okay, we're taking out a jet here, and I'm going to show you a really easy way to clean these out. So let me get you up close. Okay, here's our jet. You see the hole here. There's a secondary hole down here. And typically that would be like the idle jet, the idle hole. And I'll show you how super nice to clean these with. This is called a tip cleaning set. You can get these at like any weld supply store, or even maybe like Fleet Farm might have them or whatever. But just a bunch of little files, and they come in perfect sizes for cleaning stuff like this. So see how it just fit right in there? And get this side here. There we go. Aha, see? And you can actually kind of work one size and then grab a second size, you know, kind of work it up if you have to. But these are super nice. You can order them online too if you wanted, but this is a very cheap set, and it's just super handy. So okay, so this one is another good example. So we got 3 big holes, and then if you look, you got 2 small holes. And you can see I cleaned this top one. See how the second one down is a lot narrower? This had all that green, I don't know what you'd call it, filth on here, and it's worked its way into those holes. So typically the smaller holes are your idle holes, and that's probably why this thing wasn't running quite right. Okay, so just for fun I turned it over because the battery charger is blinking green. There's a little bit of fuel left in there, and it did kind of pop off, so let's do this again. So today is the 3rd day of working with this thing, and took the battery charger off. I actually had to move it today to put the trailer in the backyard, so it did fire off and it ran as expected. So let's try this again. It's been a few hours now. It's kind of hard to choke it. Now this is still the old gas. So it's actually running quite well. And actually there's not any gas left in it. So that's good. We're going to burn through all this old gas. That's really good. Hear the noise? That's what I was talking about. So what I'm going to do is remove the foot panel, or the foot thing there, get this panel pulled out, and then take a peek at the clutch and see if I just can't just move it around, and see if I can duplicate that noise. The engine itself, it sounds really healthy, so I'm hoping it's on the clutch side, because putting an engine in here would probably get pretty expensive. Oops. I think it's the front one. Yeah, okay. Let's I gotta take off the shroud for the muffler. Let's dig in there and see if I can turn it by hand and make something happen. Okay. There we go. Gotcha. you off there before. There it is. Okay. Yeah, it sounds like it. See if we can start this thing and turn it off and see if it makes any noise now. Nothing. Something in this clutch. Alright. This is the fun part.